when it comes to visibility as a service professional, putting yourself out there, whatever that means, whether it's networking or on Instagram, whatever channel, suits you
Yeah.
and your
Yeah.
business. For me anyway, that fear has never gone away. I still don't watch my video recordings that I put out there. but but I know that that little voice that's saying, don't do that, you shouldn't do that, you're not
Yeah.
qualified, is old and is lying. So I just
Yeah.
do it anyway. And it's something that I'm still working on today.
Well, that's always good to hear from somebody that's seasoned, that's somebody that has built something and exiting something and built something again, that you say, it still happens to me too, right? Because I think we can often feel that it's only us. And when you stay isolated, when you stay away or pull back, that's why joining coaching groups or joining communities that are in that like-minded space are so beneficial, because ultimately you get to hear somebody else say, oh man, I'm struggling with that too. And you go, oh, thank God I'm not alone,
Yeah.
and I'm sure you've seen that time and time again with the clients that you've worked with.
Yes. As I've gotten more and more into group coaching and small group work, one of the most powerful things I've seen is folks just learning from other people's stories. It's one thing when I'm one-on-one with a client for me to name it and me to say it, yet it's a whole other thing, and sometimes 100 times more powerful for someone who's going through that themselves to then hear it from a peer.
Yeah.
I just can't describe the power that comes with that. And not that in and of itself should be enough, but sometimes it is enough, or at least enough to bring awareness so that the rest of the healing has a chance to occur.
Man, that's good. That's good, Christine. I love that. And I think that speaks to a lot of people out there, myself included, that just might be going, I know that I have more in me. I know that there's an impact that I want to make. There's around here we say art that you need to create, right? And that doesn't mean literally painting or music. It's like the thing that's inside of you that you need to get into the world, right? And man, that's really beautiful. And I think it speaks to a lot of people. So all right. Talk to me a little bit about when you started to kind of, you had some people talking to you about, hey, will you help me? And you're like a little bit of imposter syndrome that you're battling, and I'm going to start a business because it's kind of what I know. What was it like when you started, actually charging people for the first time? What was that journey like when you actually said those numbers out loud and actually go, man, this is a business now? Tell us a little bit about that journey.
It was shocking, terrifying, overwhelming, and I wanted to throw up in my mouth, to be honest.
I know that feeling. Oh man.
And I will say, and I have to give credit to, I don't believe I ever would have done it alone. Yet I had the great fortune to meet two wonderful coaches who I'm still friends with today, who, I told them what I was doing, which was getting on the phone with my friends and talking them through it. And they said, well, how much are you charging? I said, I'm not. And they said, how many people have you done this for? I said, no idea, dozens.
Oh man.
So they said,
man.
Well, how long would it take you to teach all this stuff? And I said, I have no idea, a few hours. And they said, well, if you taught it, what format would you want to teach it? And I said, I don't know, like 3 sessions of 90 minutes or something. And they said, okay, Christine, here's what you're going to do. You're going to go on Facebook and you're just going to put a post and you're going to say you're charging $250 for 3 weeks of coaching on how to open your private practice. And I was like so shocked and appalled at this idea. And my knee-jerk reaction was, I will never do that. I would never put myself out there or, charge for this thing that I've been doing for free all this time. But I trusted them and I knew they had my back and I knew they were onto something that I had no idea about. So I did it. And I mean, this was back in 2016 and I earned $2,000 and filled the first cohort in under 24 hours.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's when I knew I was onto something.
Yeah. That was that light bulb moment, right? You were like, oh my gosh, this actually works. Did you have the feeling after you saw that? Did you go, oh crap, now I actually have to teach them this stuff?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I was even more terrified. Because because now I had to show up and do this thing, and I was accountable, and I was so scared of, well, what's going to happen if they pay me and I'm not good and they don't get the result? Like all the fears, Darren. It was awful. It was awful.
Yeah.
It was exciting and it was awful all at the same time.
Yeah. No, I think anybody that's built something can relate with that emotion right there, of just, I'm now using my voice. I'm now saying to somebody that I can do this. Because when you keep it just your friends and family, you're not charging for it. If they go, that didn't work, you're like, okay, I mean, take it or leave it kind of thing, But once there's business and finances and things, and now I got to take you on this journey, it's like, oh no. Like now that's a whole nother thing that you have to do.
And I will say, if I could add, I think there's something particularly vulnerable about moving into the space where you're actually charging for the thing that is closest to your heart. Mm-hmm. Now, if somebody had come along and said, like, I'll pay you $20 to cut my hair, I'd be like, okay, because cutting hair is not my passion. But there was something about stepping into that space of really owning that I had a gift to help other people build a profitable, sustainable business. That was so scary because if I failed, it was like failing at the one thing that I felt most passionate about. And that was really scary about putting myself out there.
Oh, that's a protection thing, right? Like, if I do this and it doesn't work, that's going to hurt me beyond what I like. Yeah. Your analogy of cutting hair. It's like, well, I don't care about that. So it's like, yeah, I'll charge you for it and we'll figure it out or whatever. But when it's something that you're passionate about or on mission for, now all of a sudden there's another layer there. There's that fear of, I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to, man, that resonates. That resonates because it's like, you don't, that's where I think imposter syndrome, fear, insecurities come in the most is because we're so passionate about it.
Yes.
So what do you tell those that you're working with that have that passion, that mission, and they're freaked out, they're trying, maybe even what did your friends tell you? Like, what do you say to them in those moments?
Yeah. I mean, I'll draw on a phrase that my 6-year-old recently taught me. She goes to a wonderful school and she's just graduated from kindergarten. And one of the phrases that they instilled in the kids this year was the idea of taking a responsible risk. I really love that. And that's the way I've approached it. It's the way I encourage my clients to approach it because there is a level of responsibility that comes with charging for a service and claiming to deliver a result, whatever that is. And I think there are cases where we can claim too much or put ourselves out there too quickly. So an approach that has worked really well for me is just baby steps, and I didn't do this on purpose, but in hindsight, I took multiple baby steps, probably hundreds at this point, looking back. First a colleague just called me up and I got on the phone and it was a friend for free. And then it was a small group of 8 people who I knew who paid me $250 and I was fully prepared to refund them if it was no good. And I did it again and I did it enough times to know that this thing worked, to feel confident, to see that what I was offering actually solved the problem and produced the result that I was claiming that it did. And then I turned it into a course and then it became a membership program, so on. And then it was a business and then I sold it. But if somebody had told me in 2016 that I was going to create and then sell a multi-6-figure business that served over 6,000 practitioners, I never would have believed them. But in hindsight, it was just a series of responsible risks, if you will, one after the other as I gained confidence.
Yeah. I've heard it said to hit the first domino, if you will, right? Because it builds upon itself, and you step into it that way, and that's what I hear you saying basically is like, hey, sometimes it's just what is the logical next step, and there is a little bit of safety to it. Like the $250, you said, I could have refunded it, and that's the worst case scenario. I get the money, and then I refund the money, and I'm out nothing, right? And so, what is that logical next step for that? And that's good advice right there. That's good advice.